Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I am the Sovereign, and this is my court. If this is your first time in attendance, hello! Please consider hitting the subscribe button before you leave our kingdom, because you're going to want to come back. You are going to want to come back to watch the reaction video with all of us, because it is time for the long-awaited, highly requested video that we do every single year. It is time for all of us to choose our favorite competitors vying for the Miss Universe Mawad crown. It is time for all of us to finally put together all of our knowledge, all the different competitors coming from the various countries, to see who is coming out in the top 10, top 5 of everyone's favorite lists. And this video is mine. Yes, I have my favorite top 15 competitors heading to the Miss Universe competition being held in Israel. Even just last night, I was forced to restructure my list because we had 2 competitors come out of the woodwork being crowned on the same evening. Let's see if and where those ladies fall on my list. This season of Miss Universe has been ripe with surprises and controversy. One of the first videos I did was discussing the Miss Universe organization's decision to host the competition in Israel, which has resulted in several countries backing out in protest or coming up with other supposed reasons to not participate in this year's competition. It has had an effect on the ladies that we love and the competitions we love to watch. And of course, there have been some surprises from some of the different countries' national competitions, resulting in women that nobody suspected being crowned, including several women who I believe are flying under the radar, which will be discussed here. And some of you may have hints onto who some of those women are if you have been watching all of my videos, or if you are also watching and keeping an eye on me on Instagram, where sometimes I do live streams. We sip tea in my pajamas. We just dish in live real time, and you guys know I do not hold back. So if you are looking for my Instagram, because I do believe some of you have been not able to find me, and I'm sorry, I'm not hiding from you. My links to my Instagram social media is in the description box below. Come hang out, watch some live streams. It gets fun over there. There is a lot of competition business to be handled here in the court, so expect more videos to be happening today because there's just so much stuff going on, and we have 3 major competitions coming underway in December, one of which is currently going through its selection process right now, being Miss Earth. So there's a lot that is going to be happening besides just Miss Universe is happening. We got Miss Grand coming up too. So pageant fans, polish your tiaras because we're about to have one heck of a month. Now into my top 15 list. Typically, I wouldn't talk about the bottom 5. I would just show up their photos, but there is actually a lot to be talked about when it comes to these delegates. So at number 15, I have Paraguay. I am aware that she is kind of a favorite amongst the pageant community, and I'm gonna have to call out that community right now because I see no evidence as to why she would be placed on a lot of people's number 1 spot. I like to have justification for my reasoning and picking who I pick and seeing candidates the way that I see them, but I haven't seen very much evidence to think that she is the number 1 vying candidate for the crown. I have seen her past performances in different competitions from years ago. I have seen some practice rehearsals that have happened more recently, and I have come to the conclusion a lot of people are hypnotized by her otherworldly type of beauty. She is stunningly gorgeous, and I do not dispute that at all. She has the looks, absolutely. Girl can take a fabulous photo. She's a model, for God's sakes, that's one thing she can do. But looks is not a category in the Miss Universe competition. Like, you're not going to be crowned queen without having some semblance of beauty, but you're not going to get number 1. So I'm going to have to call a lot of people out on their bias towards Paraguay, because though that she is very beautiful, even in her rehearsal skills, I've seen no reason why she would be considered one of the most well-rounded candidates heading into competition. Now, this is an early favorites video, so in the future, this might change. But until I have evidence, I am not going to be hypnotized by her very outstanding good looks. At number 14, I have Miss Thailand. I just did a video discussing Thailand and what I thought of the performance, the finale, all that. So if you want to see that video, the link is up above. Now, I have seen a lot coming from the Thailand fans in general. And number one, I do have to applaud you guys on not being upset with my honesty. I think that a lot of pageant fans have learned through my time being on YouTube that I'm going to critique anyone and anything, no matter what country you're coming from, no matter how much of a favorite you are. I'm going to tell what I see as the truth, and that will be that. Thailand is a queen that has stirred up a lot of conversation within the pageant world. I will say she is adorably cute. Her personality is infectious, and anyone with even 2 brain cells to rub together can tell that the girl can speak. That is her strongest attribute, and it is definitely going to help her within the interview competition. However, the women who crack my top 10 are satisfactory or above satisfactory in every single element of competition. Cracking my top 10 is going to be extremely difficult because not one of those women is lacking in any specific element of competition. They are all very well versed in every single area. So at that point, they are every single one of them very well-rounded competitors. It's all a matter of who's the best and who has the highest level of demonstrative ability within all aspects of competition. But every girl in the top 10 has no issue in any specific genre. My criticism of Thailand was that she did not possess the technical ability in order to go up against the women that are higher ranked on the list. Now, some people want to dispute this fact as, well, it's just her personal style. And I would just say, well, my personal style of baking a cake is to substitute flour for human skin cells. That's just my style. That's just how I make cake. So eat your dessert and be quiet. There is a difference between style and technique. I call the court's attention to Andrea Bazarte. She is a recently crowned queen coming out of Mexico with a similar style to that of Miss Universe Thailand. Her swimsuit performance, her walk actually tends to be fairly heavy. It is not my personal aesthetic or style, which I believe is pleasing to the eye. I prefer a very light walk, as most of us do. But her walk, you can tell, is pretty heavy. You can physically just see her foot pounding on the ground, but her presentation, her personality is still present. The technique is still there. She's not really an ungraceful presence. She uses that as her type of style because it just is her display personally of her confidence. She does not drop her poise. She does not drop her personality. She is still a wonder to behold. And you can tell that this is just her personal style because when it comes to evening gown, the style of her walk actually does change. She becomes much more graceful within an evening gown performance because that is what is required. That is the technical ability that is required to present in an evening gown. You cannot present an evening gown the same way you present a swimwear, and it's very obvious that this queen understands that. Her personal style is one of confidence and command of the stage, and I can respect her personal style whilst also she holds the technical ability to be crowned a queen, which she was. This is a queen that doesn't necessarily possess a conventional style, but still has the technique required to win a competition. And this, I remind you, is a very fierce competition. This is the Olympics of pageantry. You join a competition to be the best, to reinvent yourself, to evolve, to beat out your surrounding competitors. You join a competition to push yourself. Resigning yourself to stay the same is resigning yourself to second place, if you're lucky. Now, I have always left the door open for possibility and hope. There is the possibility that in a month's time, the coaches from Thailand can refine Anne, give her the technical ability to take out the ladies that are further up the list. It really just depends on her level of dedication and commitment to the process, and also the superior power of the coaches that are at her side. In my personal opinion, it kind of stinks that Anne isn't being given the amount of time that I believe that she deserves to really evolve into the queen that I think that she could be. But hopefully, the coaches can really give her a leg up on the competition by really focusing on that technical ability, because the women that are further up the list are not going to have any mercy on her, no matter how cute she is or how well she speaks. Good luck though, Thailand. Peru. Vietnam, Curacao. And so here we are at the top 10 competitors vying for the Miss Universe crown. Like I said, not one of these women on the top 10 is deficient in any one area of competition. All of them are satisfactory or above when it comes to presenting these elements, including speaking ability. So this really comes down to a matter of who's just got the highest bars, who is the most proficient, who is the most well-rounded, who's got that charisma, who's got that personality, who's got that
presentation.
At number 10, I have Venezuela, and I will admit I had some trouble going back and forth between Venezuela and Curacao because they are both very well presented women. And they both struggle, I think, in different areas of competition. So I will talk about both of them here. Venezuela was the first competitor I believe I did a video on for the 2021 season. Venezuela, as always, is very well educated and technically trained. My issue with Venezuela and Venezuelans in general is that their technical ability is so airbrushed and perfected that it comes off as inauthentic and robotic. I want to see the personality. I want to see them let loose. I want to see them be themselves. I want to see them giggle and laugh and play and truly have fun on stage. They get so bogged down in overthinking their presentation and trying to be so perfect that we can see it's not coming off as natural. They're technically trained. Now they just need to let go and have fun with it, which is something I believe Curacao does very well. She does have fun on stage, but her speaking ability, from what I can see, is going to be her setback. And as we know, Miss Universe really isn't going to be forgiving towards a woman who doesn't possess the speaking ability because the fans won't either. So in this situation, I do believe Venezuela has the edge over Curacao simply because her technical ability is higher and her eloquence when it comes to speaking her mind is much more sufficient than Curacao. But as I have said many times, the list is bound to change, especially once the girls see their ranking, because I know some of these competitors are not going to be satisfied with anything other than first place. And honestly, in a competition, you shouldn't be. At number 9, I have Bahamas, a lady that I did an entire video on. Some of you probably missed, and some of you are likely very surprised to even see her on the list. Your fault for overlooking competitors. Do better. We are pageant fans here, but I am not going to play favorites or overlook countries that people do not consider powerhouses. I know people do not pay attention to Bahamas, but this is why I'm kind of like your internet girlfriend to let you know what you've been missing out on. And I do believe a lot of people let Miss Bahamas fly under the radar because she is a very well presented woman on stage, and she presents with confidence and charisma. She does not present in a very robotic way. She does give the faces. You can tell that she likes what she's doing and she's confident in how she's behaving, and she can speak. She can speak. And I think this is one thing a lot of the fans overlook. A lot of times, we went through this last year when I put Nicaragua on my list and a lot of you didn't. It's because a lot of people believed that Nicaragua was only a performance queen and they did not see her speaking ability. Miss Bahamas has the speaking ability. Now, what I would say about her and did say about her in her video is that she is one of those women that can really benefit from letting loose a little bit. You can see her technical training on stage a little bit too much. She really needs to iron it out, make it a little bit more realistic, a little bit more natural, and be a little bit more creative and playful on stage. She has the foundation of a fantastic presentation in both areas of competition, and she does possess the speaking qualities. But I always suggest that women continue to research and learn and prepare for interview, because that is where we lose a lot of our powerhouse favorites. At number 8, I have Argentina. Oh, did you guys miss Argentina? Have you not been paying attention? Argentina. I was happily surprised to see that Argentina has come to play this year. Hello, dear. I mean, what is there really to say? Argentina She's got the foundation. She's got the base cake. All we need is some frosting, girl, and she looks good. She looks good. And I highly appreciate the fact that Argentina, largely, to me, it seems she went totally untanned. I am not against a tan. Everybody thinks I'm against a tan. I am not against a tan. I'm against cheese snacks. If you come looking orange or like a burnt chocolate chip cookie, then I have a problem with it. But Argentina, it seems like, decided to forego the tan altogether, and she's very fair skinned and she's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She presents with confidence. She's got change of face. She's a little bit sassy, and then she gets to a microphone. And when she speaks, it doesn't seem like it's forced. It doesn't seem like it's rehearsed. It doesn't seem like it's practiced. It seems like she is talking to us and it is coming from her heart. What's not to love, Argentina? I'm happy to see you on my top 10. Surprise, surprise. At number 7 is the Philippines. And yes, I am well aware that some of the Filipino fans may be upset with me for the current placement of their queen, but may I remind you that a lot of you did not return to court with apologies for your past behavior when you were upset with the placement that I gave Ribia Mateo last Miss Universe favorites list. And may I remind you that though I love the girl, she's amazing. Like, I would totally go out to dinner, eat ice cream with Ribia Mateo. The fans were upset for where I placed her. But may I remind you that Ribia Mateo placed exactly where I put her. And I got no apologies from the fan base, and I'm not saying that I am salty about it, but I will say that my doctor advised me to cut back on my sodium intake. Regardless of how some of the fans may feel on anyone's favorite lists, whether it be on Instagram or YouTube commentators' favorites lists, what I will say you should take from these is a red flag. Use these as a warning symbol. If your queen is largely being placed outside of the top 10 and top 5 of most people's favorites lists, use that to your advantage as a warning sign. There are some legitimate areas where that queen could possibly improve. So we are talking about Miss Universe Philippines. Miss Universe Philippines is consistent. I don't really see her ever being one to make a severe mess up on stage or during an interview competition. She is a very reliable queen, and she has technical proficiency. What I will say that she does need to probably work on in order to rank higher during the Miss Universe competition is just the fire, is just the creativity. This competitor runs the risk of being outperformed or overshadowed by queens that are further up the list. Yes, she is very consistent and proficient and can speak, but she, when you place her in the context of the rest of the Miss Universe competitors, does not necessarily stand out in one way or the other. She is not an amazing evening gown presenter. She is not like a woman that would make you drop your jaw during swimwear. She is simply satisfactory, and that is not good enough. And I have to really overstate this because some people forget that this is a competition. Being satisfactory, being just enough is not enough for Miss Universe. To be Miss Universe, you have to be spectacular. You have to be great. You have to wow the audience. You have to outshine everyone. And though this competitor is proficient across the board, she is not a beacon that can outshine the women that are further up the list. Now, it's the Philippines. So is that entirely possible? Yeah. So this ranking likely won't last very long. At number 6, a woman that was going under the radar, Miss Universe Spain. You are not under the radar anymore. I found you. Did you guys find her? Miss Universe Spain is a surprise because Spain is not a country that we regularly see on a top 10's favorite list, and even still, not usually one we see this high on a list. And yet, when you go and watch her competition, there is something enamoring about Spain when you see her. She does have technical training. I don't know where she got it from. I don't know if Spain hired a coach. I don't know if this is just her studying herself. I don't know what's going on over in Spain, but they got something in the water this year. Not only does she have the technical training, she's utilizing her face. And like I said, there's something enamoring about her, almost mysterious, because she is not an over-the-top presenter. She's not an outlandish performer, and yet you are seemingly captivated every time you see her. Maybe it's a combination of the way that she uses her face and her stunningly good looks on top of her clear technical ability. She possesses a lot of grace. And you can see that both in swimwear and evening gown. She is a graceful queen, and I want to say maybe she has an air of mysteriousness about her. Maybe it's just because it's Spain and we typically just don't see. I mean, it's just she came from nowhere, but I'm happy you're here. And yes, I know a lot of people are thinking, okay, but does she have the speaking ability? There is no way you're going to make it this high on my favorites list and not possess speaking ability. Don't think I didn't check. Yes, she does have the speaking ability, but the way that she speaks is very humble. It's gracious. She doesn't necessarily speak as if she is an authority figure, a queen. She speaks like a person, like a human. It's very relatable and it's very endearing, and I like it. So welcome to the top 10 Miss Universe Spain. Here we go. Okay, here we go, because we're at the top 5. This is the moment where people either start throwing things at their TV monitor phone screen or they start getting real excited because we are in the top 5. And at number 5, a woman that everybody has been throwing things at, coming into my DMs, talk about her. Miss Universe India. Yes, she is in my top 5. India, I think maybe has finally cracked the code to Miss Universe. You know, you guys were paying so much attention to Miss World, but now that you're really learning Miss Universe, you're starting to do pretty darn well. Miss Universe India possesses the fire. She possesses the will and the want to win. And that's one thing I really do like about her. You can see her passion, especially when she speaks. She is a very impassioned competitor, and passion is something that we all love and can get behind. She does have the technical ability to do very well on stage. What I will say is she runs the risk, the same as the Philippines, of being overshadowed by more enthusiastic and standout performers. She has the technical ability, but she is going to need more creativity, more of the it factor, more spunk when it comes to a stage presentation to go against some of the women who are really just standout knockouts on stage. She really needs to captivate an audience. And that's one thing I noticed during the Miss Universe India national competition was that there were competitors that were outperforming her on stage. She cannot let that happen going into Miss Universe. As I said before, it is not enough to simply be a satisfactory performer. You have to be a knockout standout from beginning to end, whether it be swimwear, interview, or evening gown. You need it all. She does very well speaking. She's got a great personality. She is a wonder to behold. We want the shine and the sparkle on stage. Do not let the Latina step on your reign and your rule, girl. Have fun, be confident, and go get your crown. That's all she needs. Like, don't let them take the award from you simply because you weren't given enough confidence on stage. Go hard or go home, and you will go far, India. Good luck. At number 4, I have Miss Universe Colombia, Valeria Ayos. And look, I've been talking about her for so long because she was supposed to compete last year, but I'm happy she's here because I told you guys that she was going to make it to a Miss Universe stage. People don't want to listen to me, but here she is in my top 5. Valeria Ayos is representing Colombia, and it has been a long time coming. The girl is drop dead beautiful, stunning, gorgeous, otherworldly, hypnotizingly magnificent. Like, she knows she's got the looks and she's got the performance to back it up. Valeria Ayos is very well trained, and she should be. She's been training for a very long time. And I am well aware that some people have her as number 1, and I will let you know why I don't. While I was watching the Miss Universe Colombia competition, where she was very easily a standout, though her number 2 was giving her a run for her money, I detected some stiffness. I think that Valeria likely was overthinking her performance and trying to appear just too perfected and airbrushed, which, as I have said before, is largely the style of the South Americans, which is dominated by Venezuela and Colombia. They have this tendency to focus so much on their performance to where it becomes too perfect, too airbrushed, and as I said in Venezuela section, a little bit too robotic. Valeria Ayos wasn't letting loose as much as I expected her to during competition. Now, this is me critiquing a very outstanding performer, but when it comes to Miss Universe, you have to be very meticulous because it's only these minuscule differences that keep you from being a Miss Universe and being first runner-up. So in Valeria's case, this stunning woman who is a very good competitor, extremely graceful. She is very, very graceful. She's going to need to let loose and have a bit more fun during her elements of competition and show more of her personality, because even the women that are above her on my list have a lot of personality and are enigmas on stage to where they just captivate and energize an audience. And I don't get a lot of energy from Valeria, though I do get very much hypnotized. This also has the possibility of peeking through during her interview process. If you're overthinking and playing it too safe, if you're holding yourself back, this comes off as lack of confidence, which it is. When you are overthinking yourself, you're not being confident in yourself. And Miss Universe judges are going to see that, and it's going to hurt you. And that's very evident during an interview competition. So when you go into an interview, you can't really run the risk of overthinking. You can't really run the risk of second guessing yourself. And I think Valeria is so focused on being so perfect because she wants to win so badly that she will second guess herself. That cannot happen in a Miss Universe environment. When you show up to Miss Universe, be yourself. You're showing up to pick up your crown, okay? You're not showing up to compete. You're going to say hello to your second and third place and pick up your Miss Universe crown. You have to be that confident heading into competition, or other women, not even just the judges, but your fellow competitors will see your lack of confidence and use that to their advantage. Now, she is in my top 5, okay? So mark my words, Valeria is not to be messed with, trifled with, or underestimated. Do not play those games with her. She is ready to fight for the crown. At number 3, I have South Africa. Welcome back to the top, South Africa. How you been doing? Man, it's nice to be top 3, isn't it? Yes, South Africa is in my top 3. This woman is fun to watch and fun to hear. Not only does she possess the technical ability, she is energetic, she's got personality. She's just always fun to have in front of you. And that is a woman that has charisma. That is a woman that has charm. That is a woman that has the power to captivate an audience and a judging panel. And that means that is a woman that is dangerous. Now, of course, there are always ways to improve yourself. That is the purpose of competition, is to constantly be finding a way to outmatch your competitors, outmatch yourself, be better than the people that were last year. That is the name of the game. So what can Miss South Africa do to further her chances of being crowned? Well, the one thing I can say Miss South Africa can possibly work on, even as a top 3 competitor, is likely the facial expressions. She is very graceful and very delicate when it comes to her presentation. It's because, I guess, from what I have been told, she is a classically trained ballerina. She's got a ballet background, which is definitely going to help her with the grace and poise. Makes a lot of sense there. But what I will say is she tends to hold her faces a bit too long or not change them at all. And you have got to give that facial play when you are on stage, because as I have said in plenty of videos, if you present yourself in any capacity, I don't care if it's a random job interview at a corner store or a fast food restaurant, if you hold a stagnant facial expression in front of anybody for too long of a time, it becomes awkward, almost even like scary. Like, are you frozen in time? Is there a glitch in the matrix? Is something wrong with you? It's very unnatural. But the fluctuation of emotions is something that is natural to every human being. How many different facial changes have you guys seen me do in this very video? I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of my videos where I'm just going through faces, because that is showcasing my change of emotion, whether it be happy, sad, surprised, wowed, like enamored, whatever it may be. That is what is natural to human emotion. And that type of display has to be present on stage for the audience to really see you as a sincere, natural competitor. Lack of facial change is just off-putting. Now, she doesn't do it to a point where it's horrendous. What I am suggesting is that she just display a little bit more emotion on stage. But she's in top 3, so hey. At number 2, the woman responsible for making me restructure my list last minute, Miss Universe Panama. Welcome to the top 2, girl. Bet you didn't, like, surprise, surprise, right? She was crowned last night and directly into top 2. Yes, she is. Argue with it if you want to. But right now, Miss Universe Panama belongs in my top 2. Yes, she possesses the technical ability. Yes, she possesses the speaking quality. Look, we were beyond that once we hit the top 10s list because everybody's got that. At this point, it's a matter of who's got the it factor, who's got charisma, who's standing out, who's energizing their audience, who is giving us a memorable performance, because that is what a Miss Universe is made of. And I watched Miss Universe Panama, and I rewatched Miss Universe Panama, and I rewatched Miss Universe Panama, and every time I watched her, I'm thinking, wow, I could see her wearing the Miss Universe crown. She's giving me Miss Universe vibes. She is fun to watch. Like, when I watch her, I don't feel like I need to critique her. I don't feel like I need to judge her. It seems like it's a very natural, easy performance for her. She performs, she hypnotizes an audience, and she saunters away. Everything comes very easily to her, on top of the fact that, of course, she's stunningly beautiful and gorgeous. She's flirtatious. She's got the change of face. She's got the energy, and she has the grace. She's got all the makings of not only a Miss Universe finalist, but a Miss Universe herself. Now, obviously, this is an early favorites list. Things can change. But Miss Universe Panama, welcome to the top. And at last, I'm sure everybody knows at this point who my number 1 is, unless you just haven't been following along with pageant business. So let me just cue you in real quick on who's number 1 right now on my list. My number 1 is Miss Universe Puerto Rico. Yes, Miss Puerto Rico, you are number 1 right now. Welcome, girl. You are the reigning supreme of my top 10 favorite lists right now. Miss Universe Puerto Rico, she's given it. She's given it all. She left it all on the field, left it all on the floor, left it all on her stage, and she owned it. Forget technical ability. Like I said, we're beyond that. She is giving us performance. She's giving us face. She's giving us creativity. She's giving us confidence. She's giving us slay, and she's giving us presentation. She gave it all. Everything. I am thoroughly fed. Thank you. Buffet full course meal. She served it with white gloved hands. Yes, she did. On top of the fact that she's gorgeous. She's beautiful. Miss Universe Puerto Rico is not playing games. She presents with a level of confidence that can only be possessed by a Miss Universe finalist or a crowned queen herself. I mean, what is there to say? When you watch Miss Universe Puerto Rico, you cannot tell me that this woman doesn't energize you. You cannot tell me that when you watch Miss Universe Puerto Rico, she doesn't make you want to give the most epic yes queen you've ever given in your life. Like, she demands all of the applause and rave reviews and fangirl behavior. Like, when you get me to a point where I'm ready to fangirl, you are a top competitor. And there's not a lot of women where I'm over here just like, yes, like, get it, like, slay sis, do it, give me a turn. Like, there's not a lot of women that do that to me. There's very few women that do that to me. But Miss Puerto Rico, Miss Universe Puerto Rico, when I watched her on stage, I was like, you get it, girl, you get it. Like, I was dancing and there was no music to be had. There was no music anywhere. Like, she's stunning. She's fun to watch. She makes me have fun when I watch her. That is what it means to energize an audience. For those of you who are down there in the comments and don't understand what we're looking for, I'm looking for the woman that makes me dance with no music around. I want that to be crowned Miss Universe. And that is what Miss Universe Puerto Rico is giving me. Do you see how I feel different and I act different when it comes to her? Do you see my change in emotion when I'm going further up the list to when I was down in like the 14 and number 10? Like, there's a total difference in the way that I'm talking because that's the energy she infects me with. And that's why, because of this, because of what you see in front of you, the energy that she has bestowed upon me, that's why she's number 1. That's why she's number 1. And those of you, but can she speak? Of course she can. What do you think? I'm a dunce? I've been doing this for years. You think she's number 1 and she can't speak? Stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. Not only can she speak, like, all the top 10 can speak. I'm not taking that from anybody. All the top 10 can speak, okay? We have to look beyond that. She speaks with personality, relatability, charisma, authority, like queen, queen, queen. If she's not in your top 5, you must be new. You must be new. You must be a new pageant fan, and learning this takes time. But the rest of us, we have her in our top 5. So yes, this is my Miss Universe early top 10, top 15 favorites vying for the title. Now, as we have said in previous Miss Universe videos, these rankings will change. Some of them will change before prelims. Some of these rankings will change after prelims, because just by us saying our favorites, the girls are then being challenged to raise their own ranking and find out ways to beat their competitors. So every time all of us tell the girls who our favorites are, the girls are gonna work to try to change the list within their favor. So I do not expect this list to remain the same. And honestly, I would be very disappointed in the Miss Universe competitors if they allowed my list to stay the same. Because as a competitor, it is your job, your want to better yourself, to improve your ranking. So I look forward to seeing how these rankings change. We may have a new number 1, number 8, 10, 6, we never know. But I look forward to seeing what happens. In the comment section below, let me know who is on your top 10, top 5 favorites list. Who do you see coming out number 1? Are there any women that you believe are going under the radar and overlooked? I know that there's some women that people really want me to talk about, and really think about if you truly want me to talk about them, because I'm going to give my honest opinion, whether it be rave reviews or not. So just let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, because there is more pageant talk, chatter, reaction videos to come. I love you, I'll miss you, and you know I will be back in a future video. Bye!